In this program of World Pro Wrestling from the Pacific, it's elimination time for the TV Knockout Championship. We see the return of Tony Rickard against Gore the Mongolian. Peter Lauder meets Steve Rickard, and Lars Anderson clashes with Samoa Joe. But first, it's highlights from the recent Commonwealth title match between Steve and Lars Anderson. Some good wrestling by these two all the time. That mind is ticking over. The mind of Lars Anderson ticking over. What will I do to get myself out of this situation? Certainly locked in at the moment, but by no means beaten in this championship, Commonwealth Championship bout. Lower back in a holding pattern. Steve Rickard wanting to vary things a little. In comes the knee into the back of Lars Anderson. See that perspiration pouring off. There's the face of the both of them. More work going on in the face of Anderson than Rickard. Well, not that anybody said that Commonwealth title bouts were easy. Certainly not in this case. Two fine wrestlers. Rickard still got Anderson's left arm up his back. Endeavouring to do something with the right arm, but it looks as though Anderson endeavouring to get that around the back of Rickard. In fact, if the referee wasn't there, I'm sure there might be even an endeavour to grab some hair. You can see how those shoulders are pinned back on Anderson at this stance. It's a difficult position to get out of. Well, Anderson not using up a great deal of energy at the moment to get out of this. Probably more mental energy being consumed at the moment. One minute, round three. The defender, Steve Rickard, of his Commonwealth title, hasn't looked like losing this one yet. To that point, neither has Lars Anderson looked like being a loser. Nicely poised. Might see a bit of action now. Rickard's up on his feet, but he's into the turnbuckle. There'll have to be a break here. Yes, referee Kendall calling for the break. He just want Anderson there to, he doesn't want a break. Wants to get those fists going into the stomach of Steve Rickard. Real close quarter stuff. It's the bell. The end of round three. Anderson still doesn't want to stop. He's been given a bit of room, so he wants to work on Rickard, but there it is. Round three in this Commonwealth title bout between Lars Anderson and Steve Rickard. We're into round four. This Commonwealth title bout. And it looks as though we've got blood. We've got blood, and that's an unhappy sight. And in fact, Lars Anderson is playing on that point. He's broken the skin on the forehead of Steve Rickard and really working on that point. The defending champion is on the canvas, and he is bleeding. And it looks like there's a fair amount going into his eyes as well, which won't help, and a scream from one of the ladies in the crowd. Not happy at the sight of blood. Nobody would be happy at the sight of blood. At this point in this Commonwealth title bout. Well, how long can the champion carry on as Anderson continues to work on it? Back comes that fist from Rickard. Maybe he's still got some fight left in him. Looks as though he could have. Another fist to Lars Anderson. Back it comes. Anderson's starting to waver a little now, as Rickard continues with those fists. Another one to the chest of Anderson. There's plenty of fight left in Rickard yet. Back he comes as Anderson goes back onto the turnbuckle. Anderson on the turnbuckle. Rickard keeps working as the referee tries to break them up as they're on the ropes. Now onto the ropes goes Anderson. And the sleeper hold. We've waited for it, but Anderson. Now that's interesting. Anderson managed to break out of the sleeper hold by throwing Rickard over the ropes. Now, will he be able to get back in? Well, it's not very often we see the sleeper hold broken, but it was that time by Lars Anderson. Two fine wrestlers. This is really building up into something of a great Commonwealth title match. It's a pity just what's happened to Steve Rickard. It will affect them to some degree. Now, at the side of the ring now, and that is Tony Rickard. As Lars Anderson works on the leg, it looks like Lars Anderson will try the figure four. And if Rickard gets into the figure four, he'll never get out of it. There's Tony Rickard into the ring. And Tony Rickard. Well, this is a turnaround. The boy helped Dad. Now he's out of the ring, so Dad is able to break out of the figure four. I would not think he would have got out of it otherwise. Look at the mess on the face of Rickard. Fist to Lars Anderson. Lars Anderson now wavering. He's against the ropes. The bell is gone. The bell is gone for the end of the match. Referee Jack Kendall went to the canvas. These two are fighting on. Referee Jack Kendall now. This is amazing. Steve Rickard is going for the throat of Lars Anderson. I just can't believe what has come over Steve Rickard these days. He's really getting so worked up on the man. This time nothing happened to his son. His son is in there. Tony Rickard in to help this time. Well, it's just quite beyond me that Steve Rickard should go to these sort of lengths. And it looks as though the referee has decided that it is a double disqualification. There's the signal. What a tragic end to what was looking like a great Commonwealth title match between these two.
Team title match, and that's a totally different story.
Well, let me tell you something right now. Steve Rickard and his son, now let's just say his son, it's going to be a pleasure for me because I've been fighting with Rickard for a few years, but the new kid in town, I have not had the pleasure as of yet knocking his head off his shoulders. Larry O'Day and I won the Australasian Tag Team Championship in Australia, and we beat some of the top names in the world. Not just the country, the world. So I can tell you this, Steve Rickard, you and your kid, and if you value him very much, you might change your mind and get a new partner. Because I haven't seen this kid of yours, and I heard he's good. But he's only going to be as good as he can be until I get a hold of him. Because things in New Zealand are getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And I'm here to collect a lot of money that I lost before. And things are really, really warming up right now, brother.
Now, Larry, you've been up against Tony. It's a good blend of youth and experience in next week's match.
It's a good blend of youth and experience, but that's what we've got here. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be the same result as today. 1, 2, 3, and out.
Let me give you a little lot of action right after the commercial break. A man we saw recently here in an excerpt from a bout, and also a man who was out here about 78, 79 in New Zealand. I know you've been trying to get him out here again. That's Leo Burke.
Oh, yeah, Leo Burke, of course, was one of the most popular and would have to go down as one of the most scientific and best wrestlers we've seen in this country for many years. He was, as you say, Barry, here in 1978, came back in 1979, was injured in the match in the South Island, and unfortunately had to return to Canada. And but since then, he recovered from his injury, and he's back right at the top, and with any luck, and we certainly hope so, we'll have him back here in New Zealand towards the end of this year or early next year.
We look forward to that. So let's take a look at some action now, featuring Leo Burke, and here he is up against Brute Miller.
Right, well, that was close, Steve. I thought, oh, well, here we go again.
Fatal. Fatal by Leo Burke. Miller in trouble, nearly 2 straight falls here in this match.
very lucky on both occasions to come out without a fall against him. Well, it's Miller that really is on the receiving end, because Leo had the chance to recover after that beautiful drop kick he gave and stun Miller. And those few seconds were just what Leo Burke needed. And from that time to now, he has wrestled beautifully. Miller right on the receiving end. Well, twice in a row, he's nearly had the count of 3. Thought he might have had it there too. That's 3 chances Burke's had. We've certainly seen plenty of action in this match. There's the abdominal stretch. We're all over here, but no. Williams comes in the ring and Burke stops. Williams taking over on Burke. Miller gets up, comes in behind Burke, takes him by the legs, and William up outside the ring, holding on to him. That's done well. And then Leota comes in. And Tim Harpy, James J. Hill up on the apron of the ring.
Another look at this strong man from Australia, Hercules Paul Graves. Yes, built like a... Well, he's a strong man, isn't he? Hercules Paul Graves. Well, for our next match...
Fans, they'll be glad to see him back in the ring. He got up to a great start, but they'll want to see him get some initiative back here. He's sad to see him lose that initiative now after such a great start. The Mongolian's got the upper hand at this stage over Tony Rickard. Fist to the back of the neck. Across the ring goes Rickard. Back at the Mongolian. Over and backward somersault. Well, I think all the Mongolian senses that having a bit of problems. Bit of a problem there is Tony Rickard in the lower part of his back, and the Mongolian is playing on that particular point. There goes a knee into it right now. He's on the rope. Referee calling for the break. Yes. We got a bit of surprise coming through from Tony Rickard. And that's what I think if he's going to have any chance. Oh, right outside the ring goes Tony Rickard. Goes to have he had any chance of beating Gore the Mongolian. That youthfulness and surprise would probably be the thing. At the moment, a heavy fall onto the wooden floor for the Mongolian. Head thrown on the canvas. Referee pointing out. Grab the hair. Rules once again. Grabs the hair. Referee telling him to stand back. Like I think in a way threatening to disqualify him. Come on, Tony Rickard, back into that ring. All the Mongolian giving him no chance to get back in the ring. Now he's going to headbutt. Referee, Jack Kendall saying stand right back. As lovely. And a beautiful cradle. Yes.